And the number one question they always ask me, Joel, if I shoot my gun, am I going to blow my ears out? Well, what the UCL is, that's your uncomfortable level. So we'll play a series of sentences to you, and when the sentences get to be not just loud, but get to be uncomfortably loud, you'll let us know. And that will determine your uncomfortable level. In reference to police officers, let's say their uncomfortable level is 100 decibels. Well, when they shoot their gun off and it reaches to 100.1 decibels, what happens, the hearing aids automatically shut off. So the reason they do that is so that the hearing aids can't damage your ears. The MCL, this is also an important test. The MCL is your most comfortable level, and the reason this is important, this lets us know, and the hearing aid know, where the volume is the most comfortable for you. So with the hearing aids we have nowadays, the volume is automatic, but it will try to keep you in that comfortable range once you let us know what the comfortable level is. The next series of tests is what we call speech discrimination. With these tests, we'll play a series of single syllable words to you again. We'll do each ear separately and then both ears together. The reason that these tests are important, this tells us how effective the hearing aids or amplification will be for your improvement. Now, we have some people that come to the office sometimes that won't get an improvement with hearing aids, so hearing aids won't benefit from them. So that's why it's, again, very important that all these tests be done properly. It's also very important to bring family members with you when you come in for a test, whether it's your spouse or some friends. And the reason for that is we have a feature on the audiometer, so this is an audiometer right here, where it's called a master hearing aid. And what that is, if the person needs hearing aids, we can configure the hearing aid, the prescription, once we determine that, with different microphones and different receivers and things like this to kind of give the person the best clarity. And then when they have their family members there or their spouse, somebody they're familiar with, that way they can kind of hear their voice. And it really shows them the difference between not hearing them and then hearing them. We also have hearing aids that we can let people try to walk around and go outside and go into different environments to see how they sound to them as well, which we program for them. After the hearing test is completed, then we will sit down and we'll do an evaluation of your hearing test. So we'll describe to you the hearing test, where your hearing loss is, like I was showing on that other chart before. We'll discuss with you the different options that are available and the different types of aids that would benefit you. This is a chart of the different styles of hearing aids, and I'm going to bring this back up later, just to kind of, a larger version on the next slide to kind of let you see what the different styles are. But what comes into play with hearing aids is your dexterity, whether you can put them in or take them out, whether you can adjust them or whether you can't adjust them. I have a lot of patients, and also, of course, the vanity, whether you want to have a large hearing aid or you want to have a small hearing aid. I'll have people that'll come to my office and say, Joel, I don't want to see the hearing aids. I don't want anybody knowing I'm wearing hearing aids. Well, we have hearing aids that you really can't see very much of. Then I have other people say, Joel, I don't care what they look like, I just want to hear better. Oh, actually, you can just go back here. And then, of course, after we show you the different styles, we'll go through the cost. And the hearing aids come in basic, middle of the line, and top of the line. And it really depends on your hearing loss and your lifestyle about which ones you need. These are the different styles of hearing aids. You have the completely in the canal, which are fairly small, and you don't really see them very much. You will see from if somebody looks in your ear. This is the in the canal type hearing aid, and with this type of hearing aid, it's like a medium-sized one, so it kind of fills up the ear canal. And then we have the in the ear, which kind of fills up the whole cup of the ear. It's called the concha, and that kind of sits out further. Other types we have behind the ear, which you have an ear mold that goes in your ear, and then you have a hearing aid that's connected with a tube over the back of the ear. A newer style that's available, I'd say within the last 8 years, is called the receiver in the canal. A lot of people like this type hearing aid because the hearing aid is much more comfortable to wear because it's not blocking the ear canal. With this type of hearing aid, the speaker, we call it the receiver, is actually down inside the ear canal, down here. It just goes down about 1/3 of the way. And then you have a small micro tube that goes up to the top of the ear, and behind the ear you have typically a small hearing aid where you're really not going to be able to see it very much. And I have some samples up here for anybody that would like to, after we answer questions, come up and take a look. The sixth type of aid we have is what we call an invisible in the canal. Now, on the invisible in the canal, this goes all the way down to the second bend of the ear canal, so right about right there. In order to use this type, you have to have a certain diameter ear canal and a certain length ear canal. I'd say probably 6 out of 10 people, roughly, are candidates for that. So not everybody's a candidate for that type. I have a patient who, he was the commander under General Schwarzkopf during the Gulf War. This is our Vienna office. And we tried this type for him because he said, "Joel, I want something that you can't see. I don't want anybody knowing I'm wearing hearing aids." So we tried this type with him, and we probably remade it about 5 or 6 times. Because he kept saying to me, "Joel, when I talk, I feel like I'm talking in a pipe. And I'm hearing my voice out of the pipe." So finally, after remaking it all those times, I said to him, I said, "You know, I want you to try a different type." And I let him try the receiver in the canal with the same circuit he had with the other version. Well, he was thrilled, and he's still, to this day, thrilled with those hearing aids. You still really can't see it, but the main thing for him was he didn't like the feeling of having something in his ear and me feeling occluded. So this worked, was a much better fit for him. So once we recommend what type of aids are going to work the best for you, and of course if hearing aids are indicated, we have a lot of people that come to the office that don't have hearing loss. I'd say probably about 1/4 of the people that come to our offices have no loss, or have such a small loss that hearing aids really aren't recommended for them. But if the hearing aids are indicated, what we would do, we would take the measurements of the ears, we would have you sign the paperwork, and then we would order the hearing aids, and then we would set up a time for you to come in for a delivery of the hearing aids.